I love the fact that Nehemiah's like, get away from me, from her. Because she's
he's trying to play into something. He's trying to bring entertainment value.
Well, the fact is he said in Challenge Mania that whole tenderoni thing.
Well, yeah, it was super weird.
Relationship was fake. It was fake. She went to him and told him that they should have a fake relationship for TV time.
Well, I mean,
Beth
also
knew the game, way before. She knew what time it was.
Oh yeah, she's old as fuck and he's young.
How old is she now?
52.
52, yeah.
Isn't that fucking impressive that she's on this show right now?
She doesn't look like she's aged.
She just said on an Instagram, a question. She was like, yeah, I'd come back to a regular challenge. Be scary, but I'd fucking do it. Like, she doesn't even care. Like, she's 52 and she's like, I'll go against Jenny, whatever, who cares?
I think Beth is one of those people who was like universally, like, kind of hated a lot when she first came, but now everybody kind of understands it a lot better now and just sees that she was way ahead of the curve before everybody else.
She knew how to keep this show entertaining.
Here's my thing, is that she was wrongly cast. Oh, okay, sorry. She was wrongly cast on like the badasses team, because I think she actually is a good guy. Because like every time she's with the badasses, she gets made fun of and she's like isolated every time. Like if you're a badass, you don't get made fun of by people. You're not isolated and everybody hates you. That doesn't happen. Everybody hates the good guys. Everybody hates the cool preppy kid that, gets everything he wants.
She wasn't a badass because she was the queen of popularity and everybody loved her. She got to be the badass because she was, in essence, an evil incarnate.
No,
like,
she
I wouldn't say all that. A rebel. That's what she was.
She fought back against,
she would quit,
lack of a better term,
she would whine, she would fight, she would... Okay, so I'm not saying she wasn't entertaining, but she irritated the shit out of me. Her voice is really irritating too, which really doesn't help.
She's realistically, she was wrongfully edited into being a bad guy or like a badass when really she was just a rebel.
She played into it.
She was a rebel every season. She's just fighting back against the mean girls of the show or the mean dudes that are like being fucking sexist, but it's okay because they're funny and they're Timmy and like we laugh at their jokes.
Wait, when was Timmy sexist? Timmy was not the sexist one.
If you watch Gauntlet 2, like every guy except for like David, Timmy really doesn't, but Timmy makes those comments. But like Timmy's like your fun uncle, so it's like okay that he makes jokes. Like, but realistically,
do you know what the term "fun uncle" comes from?
It's probably not what I think it is then, because I think it's just like a fun.
No, it's the uncle you don't want to leave your kids with.
Yeah, funny uncle. Just like, he's a funny uncle. Don't leave the kids around him.
Don't leave the kids around him, and do not, for all intents and purposes, let him sit on any of he's not. The kids are not allowed to sit on his lap.
Yeah, it works. See, it must be different up there in Canada, wherever the fuck you're from.
It's so funny because like everybody always talks like when they have like siblings, like, oh, I can't wait to be the fun uncle of the family. Like that's what everybody says. So I want to go over something real quick with you guys. I just want to like spit, and then I want you guys just like to hear what I'm saying. Like, what I mean? It's like I just want to tell you something about CT.
Don't spit on me.
I'm not, but this is just what's impressive. So when CT's career is cut in half. It's cut in half from the old CT, new CT, and it's exactly when it's cut in half at Cutthroat when he becomes mercenary or whatever they call him in Cutthroat. When he comes back to Rivals, he gets 4th place, would have won had not been cheated out of it. Then goes the next season, gets 2nd place, takes off a season, wins, comes back, gets 4th place. Then he takes another season off. Then he gets fucked over because in Final Reckoning they gave him
Veronica.
Yeah, Veronica. And then he gets screwed over in War of the Worlds 1 as well with a double person elimination. And then he comes back and he wins. And then it's just crazy that there's like 6 finals in the past 15 seasons. There's 7 finals, 4 wins, and like he had like 3 4th places. Like,
I'll be honest. I really thought I saw his turn, like his character turn, really, after DM passed. That's when I really saw the character turn, where he turned kind of into a more calmer, gentler.
So I think his turn started at Rivals, but I think it got fast tracked into what we see today after X's 2. Because after Fresh Meat, right before Fresh Meat 2, his brother had just been stabbed, and then he came on the show, and the whole thing happened, and then he came back.
Wasn't that was the duel, right? Where he
the duel 2? Yeah,
like
sorry, not Fresh. Yeah, duel
Adam.
2. Yeah. I mean, Adam got punched in too, but yeah, he would have killed him because like his brother just died. He was not in a good mental state, and him and DM just like separated. So like all that happened, and then she wasn't there for him. And then a couple seasons go by, and now he comes back, and it's like, all right, I can be friends with Adam, and I can kind of change my arc. And then he hits X's too. He hits X's, gets clarity, hits Rivals 2 with Wes, and kind of gets this coming around age of arc, and then DM fast tracks to who he is today, unfortunately. But yeah, it is crazy. Like literally CT is it's like a manga arc of like he's like a character in like an anime. He really is. Like
I definitely feel you in that.
He's Vegeta. Vegeta is who he is. Like
Vegeta was awesome. You guys ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
We're doing part 1 of the final, and then we're gonna double down on All Stars, right?
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's kill it.
What's really good, Posters? Welcome to another episode.
I never started recording.
We'll just start recording now.
Like, are you wanting us to record, or are you wanting to do it all on OBS?
Yeah. No, go ahead and record. Plus, didn't you guys listen to the last episode? I kind of changed it around a little bit. It was kind of us talking a little bit, then it went into the opening.
Yeah. I noticed that.
It was great, wasn't it?
I mean, he's still gonna cut out the things that shouldn't be said and everything.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I hope you do.
The amount of faith that you have in me is astounding. Let's go ahead. Let's get it in.
The only way to know for sure he will behave is if you go live, because Malik, for the most part, behaves when we're live.
We don't have a lot of enemies, and that's because Malik like it's out a lot of stuff.
Malik has a lot of enemies. What are you talking about?
I have a lot of enemies. I got a lot of people who slick talk on social media, and they just really not about that shit. But let me tell you something. Most of them are on the sidelines right now, so nothing for me to worry about.
If they saw Malik in person, the first thing they do is they throw their arm up and be like, "Oh, what's up, Malik?" Like
exactly. They did. Nashville. Everybody. Everybody was super nice in Nashville. Super polite.
Oh, what's up? Boom.
Malik, you're like 600 feet tall. Like,
listen, I'm 6 feet, 300 pounds. And the only thing that I wish in my whole life is I wish a motherfucker would. That's it.
It's true.
All right, let's get it.
And mostly people don't like me because I like shady tweets, but I haven't really been on Twitter anymore, so I'm no longer a shady tweet liker.
Is it just me? All right, let's get it in. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Sorry.
What's really good, Posters? Welcome to another episode of Love, War, Challenges. I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. She is Becky at Gift Master Bex, aka the best of us. What's really good, gang? How y'all doing today?
It's game day. I'm ready. I'm ready to drag some people today. Let's do this.
Tyler, how are you?
I don't know. Like I felt like my day was going pretty good, and I got some good grades in school, and lunch was good, and then I asked this girl to the dance, and then like she just didn't like show up, and I didn't get like the full feel of the dance. Like I just got cut off, and like I have to wait another week for the dance. Like I don't like it. Like
before we get into it, just want to touch on a couple of things. One, big shout out to Gamer Vev and only Gamer Vev. Yo, what's poppin'? Y'all already know what time it is. Two, big shout out to the Challenge Unbothered Facebook group and all the other Facebook groups out there. But that's our home group. We love you guys. You guys always been faithful. Always listen. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And three, make sure you get all of your custom-made challenge gear from shopthechallenge.com. We don't have the All-Stars jersey. I can't do the go for you, but there's other people who's out there to do it that can do it for you. So make sure you visit them, support them. Anything in the challenge community is always going to be good. Anything you guys want to touch on before we go ahead and get it in?
Becky?
No, I'm good. I'm ready. Let's talk about the episode.
What does she have?
Well, no, I'm just saying me. I was just letting her go first. I was being nice.
He was trying to be a gentleman.
I was being polite. But if you guys want, the hit list is back. It's on TikTok. It's a TikTok exclusive right now. Breaking down the power rankings, just dropped them before All Stars drops upon us here. Or by the time we release this, it's already dropped. But hit list is back.
So go to our TikTok, basically, and check out his hit list.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been doing a lot of cool shit on TikTok. It's been doing pretty good for us, so make sure you guys check us out there. Guys ready to get into this episode?
Let's kill it.
All right. You know, before we jump into this,
what's wrong with you, Tyler?
I just said yeet in my head to like respond to him instead of out loud, and it made me laugh. And I should have just said it out loud.
You should have just said it out loud.
Now I'm just weird.
Well, so, you just saying yeet would be weird too. I'm sorry.
Also,
something.
Today's episode is brought to you by 1792 Small Batch. 93 proof, which is pretty cool. It's pretty tasty. It's all right.
It's pretty cool.
Drinking it straight. We're going to knock this whole bottle out tonight.
I'm drinking Ice Mountain. Not sponsored.
What's that clear shit?
I'm empty.
All right. So
you can pretend it's vodka.
The challengers finally make the finals, and the whole A block is everybody just jerking each other off. Oh, wait, before we get into it, how do you guys like the new digs?
Very good.
Pretty dope, right?
He's asking them, Becky, not us.
I'm giving him the validation of the audience.
He's breaking the fourth wall.
I'm being the audience for him, so he knows.
I'm talking to them. Anyway, challengers, they all make it to the finals. We have Corey and Cam. We got CT and Amber. We have Fessy and Casey. And we have Leroy and Nani. These are our 8. They're in the final, and MTV is going to spend the whole entire A block jerking each other off about their motivation. We all know what the motivation is. It's $1 million. They don't need much. Oh, I'm doing this for my family and my sister. Shut the fuck up. It's a whole bunch of money, and that's what that's what they're doing it for. That's why everybody's here. There's one thing that did stuck out to me during that big old suck fest. Corey brings up that he still wants to beat Fessy. Now, we definitely talked about Corey last episode about how him not taking on Fessy is a huge slight to Nelson, but it seems like I may have jumped the gun a little bit. It seemed like it's still on his mind that he's still got to beat Fessy's ass at some point. What do you guys think about Corey's mindset going into this final? He wants to win the whole thing, but beating Fessy is just a little bit extra. Who wants to kick it off?
I was going to say Corey may not be the smartest, but he has a good memory. I never thought he was ever going to really forget that he screwed over Nelson and actually their whole friendship. Overall, I was expecting this to happen. He was going to use him for the game so that he could get further. And that's really what you have to do in this whole system is use the tools that you have to make it to the end and then win.
And Tyler?
This is very like Italian mafia of him. And I'm sure if Antonio was here, he would confirm this. But I've never seen it. But let's just assume that this is something that I do know. But the show, The Sopranos, he's kind of just like bringing Fessy in, making him feel comfortable. Hey, man, you want some spaghetti? Here's a glass of wine. Don't worry, man, we're good. And he's going to slit his throat in the final and just make sure he takes his money from him. I was trying to keep it as Italian as possible. But
yeah, but he's still
bringing him along in a false sense of security.
False sense of security. He still let him get to the final. Then again, they did put him against Kyle before going in. What are you going to do? It's Harborough.
Well, here's the thing. You know, at the end of the day, Fessy was using Corey. Corey was using Fessy. There is really no difference. They both were using each other to get to the end. Now, whether or not their friendship, and I'm using quotation marks, is actually going to be intact, I guess we won't know until after the show airs.
Here's the thing, though. What's the best way to make sure somebody doesn't win the final? Just beating them in the final. That's the best way.
Or beating them before the final?
No. Because realistically, you can send by sending Fessy into eliminations, he's actually helping Fessy set himself up better for the final. But if Corey sets himself up better and then can take him out in the final, he can guarantee Fessy doesn't get money. Versus he can't guarantee that any other way. That's the only way he can guarantee it besides going into elimination against him head to head, which Corey wouldn't want to do. I don't think he would. I'm not underestimating Corey, but I just feel like Fessy's the type of athlete that will do whatever it takes, even if it's even if it's against ethics and morals. He doesn't give a shit. He's that type of athlete. So
He's a bit of a grungy man that he will break all the rules to make sure he makes it to the end.
It's not breaking the rules, but it's like if they don't tell you the rules, then you just do it, and then they go, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that." Oh, well, I didn't know. Like that's
then you end up breaking somebody's finger and slamming somebody's face into the ground and shoving dirt under their mask so they have dirt in their eyes.
That is a strategic move by OG challengers from like the longest time. I forget who it was, but it was like a long time ago. I heard something on a podcast, and they were talking about we didn't ask rules all the time because if you don't ask, then it's not against the rules type thing. Like that's what they used to do. Like so.
Just because it's not against the rules doesn't make it not dirty. I'm sorry.
But it's for $1 million. Like, I'm doing whatever it takes.
Listen, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's dirty.
If it's about to be the final and they put me in Hall Brawl against Big T, I'm not going to, come on. Yeah, it's going to be the truck stick.
Ethics. I really hope that you're not going after, at Big T in a Hall Brawl.
Who on a challenge has enough money where their ethics outweigh $1 million?
Wes. God. I'm being honest. I'm being truly honest.
Really interested in Wes's net worth. I mean, I know he's doing great things over at Beta Blocks, but I would love to see a hard figure just to see exactly what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna tweet him. I'm gonna ask.
Listen,
him, how much cake you got?
With how much he's gotten screwed over this season, I wouldn't be surprised if he came back and played a really dirty, nasty game.
Not to the people in his circle. Not to the people in his circle.
Good point. Let's go ahead and move on to the final. People in his circle
screwed him over.
Well, yeah, but
yeah.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. All right. So big black truck pulls up. All the challengers get in. Take him out in the middle of the wilderness. We see TJ. TJ says it's going to be a 2-day final. Whoever finishes last on the first day is gone. Winners split $900K. Second place, they split $100K. Third place is $0. Now, I always remember the classic format was third place got $15K, second place got like $30K, and then the winner got the big cake. How do you guys feel about third place getting nothing? We're 4 teams.
Well, I feel bad. It's very similar to what happened during War of the Worlds 1, where Ninja Natalie made it all the way to the end and she completed it, the only female to complete that final, and she got nothing. And I think that's unfair. If you're going to allow 4 winners, there should be 4 prizes. But I mean, I can understand how they're trying to do it now, but it's just.
I mean, your prize is getting a better chance to compete for the 900,000. Like the 4th place team is out. Now top 3 get a chance at that. 4th place doesn't get that chance. So if you get 3rd, yeah, I don't think you should get anything. Like they're getting paid every week. Like all they don't get is a bonus. That's all it is. And I'm okay with that. And the whole ninja thing, she got 4th place. She wouldn't have even been on the podium. Like, I'm sorry, she didn't even medal. So I don't even care about
that. For me, I am
so bad.
I am totally fine with 4th place getting bounced out or getting nothing. That is fine. But 3rd place, you know what? You can give them the 15K. No one's going to miss that much. You can give them the 15K. You can get the 2nd place team 50K and let them get the rest. I mean, even 25 and 50 and get the rest is still 850K. Give them some bread. They got to go through hell. They've already made it this far. A little bit of bread goes a long way. And I think everybody will feel a little bit more better about the whole thing. So give them, they don't have to, but just give them some more bread.
And I'll be honest, I did forget the ninja got 4th on that. I, for some reason, thought that only the top 3 got to the end, but I just remembered, 4 of them made it to the end. But I consider that if you finish the final, you should get something.
I mean, realistically, Kara would have probably finished that final had they not just cut it off at 4 people. Like she would have finished the final eventually.
Oh yes, Connect 4. Oh, that was so hard to watch.
It wasn't the Connect 4. She lost out on the trying to guess the math.
On the luck, but Connect 4 didn't help.
Yeah,
she got screwed on Connect 4.
She lost like 32 times on that game. Like it was bad news.
It was bad. All right.
News bears.
So for the first lineup in the challenge, they and mind you, that lineup shot was pretty fucking epic too. At first they got to run a 3-mile run to the first mission. Are you holding up 3 agreeing with me?
I was holding up 3. Yeah. I was just getting ready.
Okay. So we do find out that a hurricane is on its way. So it's pretty windy and it's rough. And they're running across a rough terrain and it is showing. Everybody's losing footing. Everybody is falling. I don't really know how I feel about that. If you're going to have them do a 3-mile run, I mean, you can at least find a trail or something. And the whole time I was thinking about that first stretch, I was thinking about that because watching everybody have so much trouble slipping on the rocks and falling, I'm just like, man, it's really going to suck if they have to lose this challenger to a sprained ankle. And that's just what I was thinking during the first run. I didn't think it was going to happen, but Fessy takes a strong lead. Leroy and Nani are in 4th. When they get to the first one, the first mission is just a replay of the first challenge. I forget the name of it, but it's the one where they run up the hill, got to grab a cipher, decode it, get it done. It gets really aggressive in there, mainly between Fessy and CT. In your guys' opinion, who won that exchange?
CT, without a shadow of a doubt. He wrestled him. He took him out, and he dominated this guy who's probably 20 years younger than him, or 10 years younger than him, 15 years. I don't know how much younger Fessy is in comparison to CT.
It's a good question. How old is he, Tyler?
Why are you asking me? I don't know. Fessy's like 24 and CT's like 40. I don't know.
I'm supposed to know this shit.
You have all the stats.
I know challenge things. I don't know the personal life.
Well, Fessy's talking in the igloo about how he's the new big thing and you think you're the big bad mamma jamma and blah, 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 blah. I'll take you out. And CT took him to town. And he won at the end, which is just even more satisfying.
Tyler, what did you make of the showdown between the Titans?
I mean, technically, Fessy stole the thing from CT. So, I mean, realistically, if we're looking at this and like who actually won, Fessy kind of out wrestled him and took away the thing from him. And CT had to retaliate. And it looked better for CT because he retaliated. But Fessy fought through and ended up taking it from him when CT wasn't done looking at it. But in the end, it didn't matter.
Yeah. So I would say Fessy won that round. CT won the war. CT he probably didn't need it as much. Fessy really did. And Fessy should have thought less about trying to big dog CT and trying to actually win the thing. And maybe he would have done better. So that's definitely going to be on Fessy. For the ladies also get kind of aggressive, but Amber gets the win on this one. And it's funny because Amber and Casey go at it for a little bit. Casey also gets the win. CT and Amber wins. And so there's an advantage. And Casey said the funniest shit. She said, yeah, it's an advantage. Any advantage is a good advantage. And I'm just like, yeah, wise words by fucking Casey. Thank you. You fucking piece of drywall. She is just so uninteresting.
Can somebody grab some oil for her, please? And just like put it right there so she can like move better? Like
how she's just not, I think she's fully likable, but I don't really like her for reality TV. But they get the win. And I guess the advantage is Amber gets to kind of treat it like an elimination. She goes, TJ asked her, do you want to stay with your partner? Or do you want to steal somebody? Worst fucking person to ask it for. Who is she going to pick? One of the other guys who's never won a challenge? Or the guy who won last year and 2 others? This advantage, what did you guys think of it? Tyler?
I loved it. I think it plays with the whole theme of the season. And I think when you have a theme, even if it doesn't like work to the way that you want it to work, you stick it through. It's the season's theme. And I liked it. And it adds a twist that realistically could have changed the way everything is going to end up being. Like if she switches and doesn't stay with CT, what happens when they get to the next part? You know what I mean? Like on the next leg, like it could change the whole dynamic of the mentality of challengers, the way they were running, like the way they think, like Leroy thinks he's in last. Like what happens if she drops to him? Like where do they move in position wise? Like I think it could have changed a lot of things. I wish that she would have just like switched just so we could have seen what would have happened. You know, like who gets to go first, her or CT?
So question, she got to go first because she had, I guess, a better time. But let me ask you, what happens if CT wins?
I can see him staying with Amber.
I think so too.
Really? Over Cam? Over Casey?
I would have the mentality. Well, he might take Casey actually, because then he would think he'd be messing up Fessy. But I would avoid Cam at all costs if I was on the show. She'd be the last person I want to be my partner out of anybody, because not because of her skills. So hold on, before I get fucking dragged by everybody that says I hate Cam. I don't hate Cam. I think Cam's motives aren't to win the show. I think Cam's motives are to help Leroy win the show. So if Cam can do whatever she can to get Leroy a win, she will. If they're both racing to that finish line, oh, I'm going to hold up. Oh, Leroy just won. Oh, I got second place. That's what I think would happen. So I would avoid her at all costs. That's just my take.
All right.
Which is loyalty on her part, it's a big, great trait. It's a great, strong, confident thing for her to do. Like, I like Cam. I got to make sure I'm clear on this. Like, but I would avoid her if I was on this show, because I think her motives are for Leroy.
You literally fist pumped like, yes.
I actually think, I'm pretty sure somebody left us a bad review on iTunes about how much you and Antonio talk shit about Cam. So good job making sure you
it was YouTube.
It's YouTube. I got called racist.
No. Somebody went into like, where they leave reviews for the podcast.
On iTunes?
Yeah.
There too?
Yeah. There's like the way, some dumb shit. I don't know.
Probably the same person from YouTube.
There was a fan though that went out and like defended me and everything. And
what was his name again?
I don't remember. I gave him props back when it happened.
I remember.
It was like we talked about it right afterwards. I don't remember now, but I try and just like erase negativity in my life. So.
Well, whoever you are, thank you. Becky, what do you make of this? What do you make of Amber staying with CT? Do you think it's the right move? And what do you think CT would have done?
I think Amber did make the right move. CT is far more encouraging to her than Fessy was, and obviously watching Fessy and the way he was almost punishing Casey through that first leg of the final, or the first leg of the run, I wouldn't think that she would want to be partners, especially after he tossed her into the trash basically just a couple episodes ago, and basically said that she wasn't a good competitor and he didn't want to run with her. So I think she plays emotionally, so I don't think that she would be able to work with him. So she's not going to sacrifice her chances of possibly winning. I think CT would have stayed with Amber. He obviously knows that he doesn't work well with Cam. It's, two alphas trying to be a team, and it's not going to work. And I think he likes how Amber is a good runner. Amber is running faster than him. She's definitely making him, keep up with her versus the other way around. So I think he would have stayed with her, and I think she made the right choice, because the only thing I found funny, honestly, was watching Fessy's face, like, oh my God, thank God she didn't pick me. Dude, she doesn't want to be with you. I don't think anybody really wants to be your partner, like, at all.
All right. So moving on, Amber's going to decide to stay, and they get to start off the next chapter in the order that they arrive. So at first it's CT and Amber, then Fessy and Casey, Cam and Corey, Leroy and Nany. Leroy and Nany are still in fourth. It's hard not to root for them. These guys have been vets for a long time. And even though I'm not the biggest Nany fan, I'm really hoping that, they get the W. What do you guys make of Leroy's mindset? Leroy's made it very important. He made it very clear that this is his last one, even cried before taking off. He's being good with Nany. He's encouraging. He's not screaming. He's not yelling, but they are in fourth. What do you guys think of Leroy's, the way that he's running this final so far?
Well, I think he's looking at it as it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So he's okay kind of going with Nany's pace, because he feels like everybody's going to gas if they, keep pushing as hard as they are.
Remember the time he gassed.
Exactly. So when you look at it, I think he's obviously they're friends, and he doesn't want to yell at his friend. And Leroy's always been a better partner in a lot of ways, because he's always been more encouraging.
It's funny you say that, because if Fessy and Casey are friends, and Fessy doesn't mind pushing her.
Fessy's an asshole.
You didn't whisper that at all. Tyler.
Do I need to?
No, not at all. We heard you loud and clear.
Leroy is Maybe, here we're gonna do a top 5, top 10 on this eventually. I just came up with it and everything, but like Leroy might be the best partner that anybody could have. He's the most supporting. He's a pretty decent challenger, well-rounded wise and everything. So he can competitively keep up with them, but he supports them very well. Like he has this
better than Mark Long.
Yeah, 100%. Get out
Mark's
of here.
A champion.
And Mark also would run and then shit on Robin behind him the entire time. Be like, oh my God. Like it would like.
But it's Robin though. She really.
I love Robin.
Yeah, but Leroy might be the best partner anybody could ever have on a challenge. Because think about he literally took Mikey. I know nobody was throwing him in elimination, but he supported Mikey the whole way.
Love Mikey.
And he wasn't like,
they had a real chance.
He wasn't like, I'm the best. He's like, I bring the strength. He brings the brains. We're a perfect match. Like he supports him. And then he partners up with Ty, who he didn't get along with, and they become best friends. And they're rapping around everybody and flirting with all the girls. And they're just brothers. It's crazy. And I feel like he could be partners with anybody and it would make it work. So
I'm trying to think of anybody else who's is a really good guy partner.
Okay. I hate saying this because everybody's gonna dog on me. Okay. So, second challenge career, Wes is a really good male partner.
I think Wes is a good partner. I mean, he's an all-time great. So
you just have to get rid of him with Casey, his first season.
Yeah,
it's a dent on him. But I think he saw that and he actually reflected on that because you saw Teresa hated him and they worked great together. CT hated him. They worked great. Kenny hated him. They worked great together. Everybody that hates him when they pair up, they work great together.
I always think about that final. At the end of the finals. On a rivals, it showed these big rivals, and and now they made up. And Kenny's just I still fucking hate you. I hate you so much.
It's because they didn't win, and he thought it was all Wes's fault. When in reality, the only reason they were in that final is because Wes helped him win eliminations that Kenny threw him in by DQing the first 4 times.
This is true.
Continue. Sorry. Continue.
All right. So continuing on, they reach this second mission, and they have to grab the keys, and they all got to head back downhill the way that they ran. On the way down, Casey slips. She hurts her knee, and all of the challengers just step right over her like fucking Allen Iverson. They're just well, sucks to be you, but got to keep it pushing. And Fessy comes back to check on her. A lot of people didn't think Fessy's initial reaction was one of too much concern. Even one of the challengers, I think Nani or Cam, noted that he was more you're losing this for me. You're losing this for me. What do you make of Casey's injury and Fessy's reaction for it? For me, he definitely seemed oh, you're definitely losing it for me. And Casey, I think Casey was just tired of his mouth. It was just, fuck it, I'm getting injured. How do you guys feel about it? Tyler.
You want me to go first?
I mean, I went first last time, so I'm just
I just keep always jumping in.
Go.
Shut up, Malik. We're trying to be partners here.
It's a podcast. Talk over each other.
That's true. We fight enough as it is. But it did look like sour grapes to me. He was literally sitting down with just this schlumpy face of get the fuck up. You're ruining this for me. I can't believe I'm losing this final because of you. And then obviously in the confessional, he's like, I'm really worried about her. Fuck off. No, you're not. You were not. But yeah, he handled it like an ass. Casey was not being careful. She was honestly, I think, Fessy rushing her and was constantly on her ass. She felt too much pressure and she fell. I mean, it's slippery, and if you have too much stress on you, it just happens.
Tyler?
No. Malik, what do you think?
He did say that. He said that first.
No, but really, do you think Fessy actually cares about Casey's health? Or is he so caught in we're losing that he doesn't give a shit?
I think he's so caught up in their losing, which isn't always a bad thing. I did play football and wrestling in high school. People got hurt. You know what it is? Go sit your ass on the sideline while you get taped up, next man up. We're concerned for you, but we are doing something right now. We got to take care of this now. I don't spank them too hard for that, because that's the mentality. If you're on a D line and there's 6 of you and the defensive end goes down, all right, help cart him off the field, clap when he goes off. Who's the next guy? Hey, Rook, you're in now. Act like you fucking know. Let's get in there. Let's go kill these guys. We'll check on you after.
Act like you've been here before.
It's the nature. This is what I've heard in the game before. So I think that's how Fessy sees it. But this ain't a football game. This ain't a basketball game. This isn't a wrestling match. This is the challenge. We can hear everything you say. That fucking face he made says it all.
Yeah.
Tyler, care to follow up?
Are you gonna give us your opinion, Mr. Tyler?
No, I mean, like, there's really no opinion to like defer from and everything. It's so like I watch Survivor. I'm a big fan of Survivor as well. Outside of the challenge, I think it's like the second best reality TV competition. And there's a character on there. I call them characters. But it was on this a season called Second Chances, and his name's Terry, and he's a good guy. Everybody loves Terry. And he literally in the middle of the night gets woken up by Jeff Probst and is like, "Hey man, your son is in the hospital. Like, you got like." And before Jeff even said you got to go, he's like, "All right, I just grab my things right now." Like, his mentality was like, game doesn't exist anymore. Like, literally at 3 a.m. in the morning, dropped and was like,
his kid,
"I care."
though.
But I'm just saying, like, his mentality dropped. It was like, yeah, it's $1 million. He just checked out of game mode. And Fessy didn't do that. And my point to that is, like, we've seen example, like people always shit on reality TV stars. This is my point. And that everybody's like, oh, they're all bad people. Like, you can't be a good person and be on reality TV. Like, that, there's an example right there of a person that's a good person that was on reality TV. There's an example out there. People can go look at it. Fessy proved everybody else right. Like, just the way his mentality is, unfortunately.
I feel the same exact way. Everybody who shits on you, everybody who has something negative to say about you, this is what they mean.
I mean, if he wants to be the biggest, baddest villain ever, I mean, he's on his way there, and that's a role that somebody has to play, and that's okay. I just think if it would have been like somebody he didn't like and it wasn't like one of his good friends, I'm not saying I could forgive it more, but like, you know, like if this was Rivals or Vendettas, I could kind of be like, oh, I kind of see why he would roll his eyes, like whatever. But it's Gacy, it's supposed to be your girl, like
your main one.
You didn't think it was a big deal when Kenny did it to Wes because they legitimately
hated each other. Yeah.
Versus, yeah. I mean, if my friend's on the ground writhing in pain, crying and screaming,
it looks bad. I felt really bad for Casey.
It also makes her feel like she's ruining everything. She's already feeling bad because she just realized she might have lost it for herself. On top of your mush face of talking about, no, I lost money myself. Dude, I might have broke my leg.
When I was playing club in college, first college, a long time ago, so I'm in second college now. When I was in first college, playing club, my best friend got taken out by somebody. And he talks a lot of shit during the game. So do I, and everything. But so like, I get why he got hit. But somebody took him out. And the next time that guy had the ball, I didn't even go for them. I just drilled him and dropped him to the ground and told him never to touch my friend again. Like, I don't mess around.
Shit.
Like, I don't even care. And here's the crazy thing. I played with people that like I've hated growing up, and then we ended up on like the same team, and they got fouled, and I just came and like took them out and was like, don't touch my teammate. I don't care if I hate you or love you. Like, if you're on my team, I'm gonna do anything to help you out and care about you, which is something Fessy should learn about. But then again, this is his first arc. We have to remember this. This is Fessy's first arc, and he's gonna be around, I believe, for 10 plus seasons. So
I think he's here to stay. Unfortunately, I got to say the same thing about Josh too.
Yeah, character development. But it's character development. They're giving something.
Yo, when CT was, the big bad CT, fucking hated him. I was not a CT fan for a while. And even when they brought him back at Cutthroat, I remember saying, like, they're bringing this fucking guy back? Like, ill. And now, look at him. He's everybody's grandpa. But let's go ahead and move on.
Maybe it's because I'm a girl, but I loved big bad CT.
Oh my God. A girl likes a bad boy? You may be the first.
Okay, I'm not.
Color me shocked.
I'm not saying you're anything, Becky, or any other female that thinks that way. But I don't look at challengers for their physical attractiveness.
I
don't care about that.
That's not true.
Honestly,
okay,
let me tell you.
We've all seen Melissa Reeves.
That's true. But nonetheless, let me just
Prime CT,
say,
yeah.
Hey, shush. I'm talking here, sir. The reason why I like CT is I honestly just found him really entertaining and funny. Like, I thought he was funny, even though he was mean funny. So
he went to the gay guy and said, "Can you take a punch?" and then duffed the shit out of his face.
He couldn't take a punch.
Then you saying I can't take a punch?
He should have said no. I'm just kidding. CT should have. I'm kidding. CT should have hit him. Like,
CT should have hit him. You know what? There's a story going out that Aaron Donald got into a fight with a guy. He's being charged, and you see the guy's face. He punched his whole face off, and everybody just like, if you're in a situation where you might have to fight Aaron Donald, get the fuck out. Like, no matter what's going on, no matter what you're thinking, if you're about to fight a guy who eats up 300-pound linemen for fun and one of the most efficient rates in NFL history, maybe don't fight that guy.
Listen, if there's a girl in front of me that I'm looking at like, oh my God, if I say the wrong thing, I'm going to get killed. Now, mind you, I probably will still say it because my mouth is reckless, but I'll understand why I got my ass kicked. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, if I get a chance to sue Aaron Donald for getting my face punched off, might be worth to take it, but not every punch is worth it. But moving on, get into the next,
depends on what he did.
Next station. Everybody just steps right over Casey because, she's in the way. And it's going to be an eating challenge. And they bring out all the goodies. A liter of blood, testicles. I think I saw a sheep face. Like, what did they say to the butcher? Like, yeah, just the face. We don't need the wool. We don't need the lamb chop. Just give me the face. And that goes by almost
probably
exactly.
A delicacy.
Right. It goes down exactly how you expect it. CT beast it. CT and Amber, they get the W. During this time, we do see Casey hobble her way down the mountain. And she's still going, still participating. But Fessy is considering if he should even eat. I mean, they're most likely going to be in fourth. They're probably not going to win this one. And they're probably going to be out with this hurricane kicking up. Let's get some reactions to Fessy considering not eating. Tyler, why don't you go first?
Let's go with real life situation things and everything. It's going to get really personal, and maybe I'm self-reflecting, whatever. We'll see. Let's dive in. But people that are not winners in real life will latch on and leech to any situation or excuse that will help them be like, oh, well, that's why I didn't win. They will latch on and they will wait for it and they'll procrastinate and they'll look and find it. And like I said, maybe I'm self-reflecting because that's kind of who I am and everything. That's okay. I know this and I accept it, okay? I wait till last minute on everything. I try and find excuses and I'm not a winner and I can accept that. But Fessy thinks he's a winner, but does everything I do. And that's the fucked up thing about it. And that's what drives me nuts is the fact that he sat there and is waiting. And I don't know if he did, but I'm pretty sure Leroy called him a pussy. That's what I heard. And I thought that was so great because it wasn't a confessional. It was right there. And like
his face.
And Fessy couldn't say nothing because he's like, you're right. But he doesn't want to say it because he's a winner, but he's not a winner. He's a loser in the category of competition. And he will always find excuses to quit. And hopefully he proves me wrong on that. Like when I say these things, I'm not saying this because like I hate him or I hope he's always like bad. Like I hope he gets I hope his character arc comes around and he realizes who he's being is it's not a good look. And hopefully he self-reflects on that. But it's just terrible. And I love the fact that Casey is, for lack of better terms, and everybody hates this, but it's just the best example, is pulling out her inner Jordan and is like fighting through an injury to just like continue.
Very commendable. Very commendable. Mm-hmm. Becky.
Can we say J 2.0? But even worse, because he literally had the opportunity to, he just refused to. I totally agree with Tyler that he believes he is the winner. But not only does he believe he's the winner, he announces it to everybody who will listen how much of a winner he is and how amazing he is. And it's just going to be another excuse. Oh, well, Casey fell down, and even though I didn't want her to hurt herself anymore, and it was, we're not going to win. Okay, well, why not winning doesn't mean you don't play the game. That's the thing. Like at the end of the day, you got to learn how to lose well, and you knew how to learn how to win well just as much. You know.
Absolutely.
It's losing and winning with class, and he looks like trash. And unfortunately, I know he's probably going to be a mainstay because of the way he looks, even though at this point he is much more unattractive than he ever was, in my opinion. And he's just boring. He's literally paint drying, and all he does is compliment himself. And I'm like, nobody's complimenting you, dude. You're complimenting yourself. Like, how about you let other people give you props?
When it comes to Fessy, considering not eating, and for the most part, he didn't do very well. You could kind of tell that he wasn't really a lot of eating. I think he showed everybody what kind of challenger he is. Like, we can pick up on that shit pretty well. We could pick up on that shit fast. This is who you are. You could have done a lot more for Casey while she's sitting there, you know, wriggling around in pain and hobbled. And then to not fully throw yourself into the next competition, it all just shows us what kind of competitor you are, and it shows us what you bring to the challenge. Now, because of his stature and his mindset, that does make him good for the challenge, and he's going to be around for a while. But if he's going to stay a villain and continue to be unlikable, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a bang up job, buddy.
If we can see, and I know you talked about Jay, and like Jenna didn't do so well on Nexus 2, but Jenna has been in other finals. If you remember Bloodlines,
3 finals,
and in Bloodlines, she ate stuff that she would never eat. I mean, remember on her Real World season, she was give me some noodles and butter, and I don't want anything else touching my noodles type of girl. And she's eating all this German food as best she can. I mean, it helps that she can just like eat it how the way she ate it, and she doesn't have a reflex, and that's, you know, whatever. But
no gag reflex.
But she still did it, and the fact that somebody that who's a very picky eater, and, you know, could do it is just like, well, then anybody should be able to do it. Really, you just got to mind over matter.
You make a really good point there, because when she was running the final with Jay was just like, yeah, you don't want to continue? Like, yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, well, now we could just call it. And she followed with that, you know, but when he wasn't there and it was time to eat shit, you see she kind of buckled up, even though it was really, really hard for her. So when you're running in a partner's game like that, stuff like that is really important. Jay gave her out and she took it. When it's not available, she bucked up and she got the job done.
To be honest, she was with Brianna during Bloodlines, and Brianna didn't want to eat shit. So she really pushed her cousin Brianna through that, to be honest. So she became the one that was like, we're going to do this. Look, just don't even think about it. Just swallow, you know.
Had Jay
sounds so dirty.
had Jay actually like drank and participated in that, Jenna would have as well. Just the type of challenge that we know she is.
Well, she
doesn't
had.
matter.
She had drank. She drank some of that drink.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's what she. And she looked at him. She's like, I'm not going to keep drinking this if you're not even going to try.
It's a mentality that not a lot of challengers have. And it's something that we actually should commend her for, because like, it is a very hard thing to just like, I hate all this, but I'm going to do it. Like,
exactly.
Like for anything.
I got a lot of respect for Jenna. Ones.
All right. So CT and Amber, they get this win. And the power that they have at the end is they get a sabotage plate. They don't know who to give it to. Do you give it to the people who might be closest to you? Do you give it, or do you save everybody and give it to Fessy and Casey, who obviously are probably done? Man, this didn't even, like, CT and Amber are having such difficulty figuring this out, and I really didn't understand. I mean, it was very clear. You give it to Corey and Cam, because they're the closest to you. Have those two fight it out over 3rd and 2. Well, go ahead, Tyler. What did you think?
But who has the best chance of winning the next checkpoint? Probably Corey and Cam.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you put good into the universe and it's like, hey guys, we're going to throw this on to Fessy and Casey because only 3 of us can make it to day 2. Let's let it be us 3, get them out. And then you hope Cam and Corey return the favor if they win, or do you just sabotage and you just set a domino effect, pretty much like Final Reckoning?
I don't know. I think you bet on yourself and just keep people off of your tail.
I agree, but I'm just, I get the hesitation.
Okay.
Just because it was like, we literally saw Joss and Sylvia get robbed of a championship. because of their actions earlier in a deal earlier made. So like you set a precedent early, you got to follow through with it.
Yeah, don't make deals in the final.
I agree.
Don't make deals in the final. Ever. That is Sylvia's and Josh's biggest legacy for the challenge. And neither of them were bad challengers. But you don't make deals in the final. They are the textbook example of why you don't cut any deals in the final at all.
There are no friends in a final. There are no friends really in a challenge when you get to a certain point in the game.
Anymore.
Yeah. Well, I meant at a certain point. I mean, even CT has said, like, I will protect you as far as I can until it's a detriment to my game. And then we're on our own because I can't have you ruin my game. So
I just mean if this was like OGs type stuff, like season like 15 earlier, then it's like your friends are trying to win too, and you're trying to help them win and cut deals like, hey man, I'll go out and you guys split the money with me 4 ways instead of 3 type thing. Like
that was like season like 3 of the challenge. It was so long ago because they made the rule.
That's Battle of the X's. Or Battle of the Sexes. Battle of the Sexes.
I was gonna say it was like a long ass time ago.
But I mean, like you're right, because to a point, like we saw like really early in the season, like CT and West, and like CT even said he's like, we're not really working together, but I'm not gonna vote for him. And so like, and you know, I like that mentality of like, you stay over there, I stay over here. We're not gonna go at each other.
Unless we have to. Unless there's no other choice.
I don't even think that they would have ever actually went at each other had like West stayed. I think that it would have just been like, all right, man, I'm not going in, you're going in, but who do you want? Like, I think it would have been like that. I really do.
But that's still throwing somebody in technically, even though you're asking who they want. So technically, yeah.
All right. Well, the sabotage plate concludes our 60-minute first day final. One hell of a final. I do want to go and break it down more, but we can go ahead and do that next week. We actually have a nice little surprise in for you guys. We are going to just run through a couple of the big things on the first 2 episodes for the Challenge All-Stars. You guys want to go ahead and just jump right into that?
Oh.
You don't want to do a separate recording?
Yeah, I thought we were going to do a separate recording.
Nah. We all here. Might as well. Fuck that.
Let's do it then.
I don't know. Could just add to the numbers of like, I don't know.
He wants to put more out there.
We'll just have a longer episode. All right.
It actually might be like the exact same length as normal. Like,
yeah, exactly. Because
we have 5 minutes to like our normal range. So
yeah, exactly. We're doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and talk about the Challenge All-Stars on Paramount Network. They are bringing back a lot of oldies, a lot of goodies. Let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this series? Just overall.
After watching it or before watching it?
Before, just leading into it.
Before watching it, my excitement on a scale of 1 to 10 was about a 9.
Hold on, wait. Did your interest go down after watching it?
A little bit. But
really?
Okay. After the first episode, it went down. After the second episode, it kind of crept back up. But the first episode was really kind of boring.
That's fair to a certain degree, but I disagree with you. Tyler?
I was like a 6, like maybe a 5 to 6. Like I wasn't excited for the season.
He hates old people.
Did your excitement go up as the series progressed?
Yeah, because I love the challenge. Like I truly do. Like it's a sick addiction. Like I really do love this show. And if you provide it and if you put it in front of me, I'm gonna watch it. I'm never gonna be one of those people that will jump on and rant on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, whatever, and just say like, I hate the format, I hate this person. Like I don't care. Just give me the challenge, give me TJ, and give me some daily elimination voting in process, and I'm happy. But I wasn't excited just because I saw the cast. And when I saw the cast, I was like, oh.
But your favorite Mark Long is on.
But they missed some people that were supposed to be there.
I don't hate Mark Long. I really don't. I think he's one of the best reality TV characters of the last 30 years. He really is. If you're making a top 25, he would be on that list of just like reality TV characters that you could put anywhere and they would work. But Malik's right. They did miss the mark on some cast members. Just knowing who was on the cast as alternates that didn't get in, kind of just like if Kahada would have been there, it would have been better.
Yes, 100%. Not having Evelyn was a big mistake.
Well, Evelyn declined.
Wait.
Evelyn declined, so
apparently
it's not.
She'll do a season 2.
Well, she probably wanted to see how they were going to do it. She probably thought it was going to be dumb.
And where's Tyree? Where's Tyree's redemption? Come on, he needs another shot. Where's Marlon?
Well, he's not. I don't consider Marlon an OG.
It's been a while.
That's still mid-tier. That's Rivals. That's right before Rivals 2. That's season 24. So I don't know.
Some of those people was on Rivals.
Was it Marlon on Rivals 2? Or was he Rivals 1?
He was on Rivals 2. His season of the Real World was right before that.
I was going to say, because that's when he started. Yeah, Rivals 2.
Yeah, they still have regular Real World. So I think he's good to go.
He is technically an OG because that's how the world, the word OG goes for, I think that's what I saw Mark say. It's OG is anybody from the Real World, Road Rules, or Fresh Meat. If you came from those 3 original, you're an OG.
Yeah.
I am hoping that Evelyn, the fact that they left Cook as an alternate pissed me off.
She only did one season.
She did really good, but it would be really great to see her back. But
people wanted to see her. That's the thing. She was one of the main people that people were hoping to see.
You know what's interesting about that? Everybody shits on oh, we need characters. We don't need athletes. She's a Division 1 soccer player. She is exactly what everybody says they hate.
But she's a character though too.
The only reason people remember Cook, and don't get me wrong, I love Cook. I think she's a great. I like her as well. The only reason that she is remembered by people is because Kara became her partner. That's it. If Kara doesn't replace,
no one cares.
Eliminated. She's eliminated with Naomi, episode 2, and she's gone. And we saw her for 2 episodes, and she never comes back. And we don't ever get that fight with Paula or DM or anybody. She doesn't argue with anybody, and she doesn't almost win. But so, I don't know. She only did 1 season, and it wasn't a long time ago. Where I give somebody like Tech a pass for only doing 1 season.
Oh my God, Tech
and Ruthie was a good get. We got 2 people from Hawaii. That was a good get.
Latarian, I could care. I'm sorry, I don't care. He's not entertaining. I don't.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the actual episode. So we all get the intros, and for a good amount of them, we all know who these people is. It was crazy seeing Yes, because Yes hasn't been on. He was on what one of the first
2003.
Yeah, so that season 5 challenge? Or something like that. Yeah, so he was on season 3 or 5 or so, super early. I have copies of those seasons, and the quality is so degraded and old.
So shitty.
You can hardly make shit out.
Like VHS. Yes.
So I think they did do good with bringing some obscure people from back then, but then getting people like Ruthie and Tech, those were good gets. So I'm not going to shit on them too much for that. These guys are going to be playing a individual game. Did they say where they were filming this? Because obviously it's still in America, right? Which I thought was a great idea.
I really don't know where it's at, but I will say this, that the presentation style, the music, and everything that is not the cast and the show, the outliers,
absolutely,
it's beautiful and it hits
great.
So well.
Yes, everything's in 4K and it looks amazing. And the soundtrack, oh my God, they are paying out the ass. And on the first episode, we did get to hear some DMX. DMX is my guy, rest in peace. I'm from Roosevelt, New York. Our high school is called the Roosevelt Rough Riders. In 1998, 1999, our football team would come out to Rough Riders anthem.
That's sick.
They're in Argentina.
Argentina, thank you. And we won the championship that year. We won the next year. Everybody from our hometown feels a special hold to DMX. And it was just great having these 2 worlds put together. Rest in peace, X. We're going to miss you, Dark Man. Moving on, everything does look good. Let's go ahead and get into the first daily. First daily is going to be a swimming challenge, and this by far is the best shit. The name of the daily is called Deep Blue Dive. You got 2 teams of 11 doing underwater puzzles. They have to pick team captains, and we already know how this is going to go. The captains are either going to be saved, or they don't tell them this, but we know. they're either going to be safe or they're going to have to go in if their team loses. Yeah, Team Copper, Team Silver, Latarian, and Gisela are captains. This is the greatest fucking daily ever, because some of these people have been gone for 20 years. Some, we got Derek in there who's an animal at any time. And let me tell you something. Some people who did great. The people who did great are either people who you knew was going to do great or completely surprise you. And there's some people out there who we thought was going to die. Just Gisela coming out there and doing great surprised a lot of people. But people like Alton we knew was going to do fine.
That guy hasn't aged. He hasn't aged at all. Like he could step on. That's one of the people that could step on any challenge, and I feel like could win that season's final. Any season.
Absolutely.
He's that imposing.
Oh, Alton still has it. Yeah.
And even better, he is just a nice fucking guy. You can always root for him. He's always a good guy. A couple of notes I did take. Let's see. Beth was out there wilding. Darrell picked the wrong piece. Trishelle just wasn't even feeling it and just stopped. Gisela does her thing. Arissa cramps almost instantly. Janae almost dies. Ruthie, Tech, and Kendall, who we love, flops. Yes, crush it. Yes, crush the whole entire thing. Big Easy flopped. Cyrus flopped. Jemmy surprisingly got it done. Mark crushes it. Latarian almost drowns. Darrell crushes it, and Katie gives up pretty easily. Tech
that water had to be. That water had to be super cold. It had to be super cold.
Yes, but for this many people to almost die in the first daily, the first geriatric challenge we got, it was a sight to behold.
I want to say, I heavily underestimated Gisela, and
I think we all did.
It's not necessary. It's not because I saw that. I don't think she came in shape for this season, but it's just I literally just got done watching the Gauntlet 2 and just watched her just quit. Right. And I was like, oh god damn, here we go. But being a mom has changed her, and when she was fuck it, I'm just gonna go do it since you kids can't do it, and just march in there, and she got 2 blocks.
Yes,
not one but 2. And Gisela jumped to number 1 on my power rankings after that performance. I was like, holy cow, if she could have been this type of person, she could have been a long stay on this show and been a great character. And I was really impressed.
I agree. And I think everybody kind of fell in love a little bit with Gisela after watching how she competed. Because we're like, yes, not only are you a mom, but you're thicky thick. And you are showing out these, more athletic, and I'm using quotation, because I don't think anybody came in there super duper in shape, but other than Mark Long, who's always like that. But anyway, so I think she really proved a lot. I'm not necessarily surprised that Jemmy did well. She was a lifeguard. If she didn't do well, I would be like, what happened to you? I was a little bit surprised that Darrell messed up and brought the wrong block back, but he made it up.
I think that's more of a math thing. Because it wasn't just him, Kellyanne, they took Kellyanne a number and she went out there and she's like, none of these blocks even have that number.
I felt so bad for her. She's literally sitting all over the place trying to find
she was definitely set up for failure.
Here's the thing. When I was after I saw the first episode and I saw text commentary on welcome to the old person edition of the chat, I was like, okay, he's perfect fit. Thank you. He's here. This is what he's here for, to provide great commentary.
He's here to have fun.
Yes.
I mean, Tech was always, him and Ruthie were always.
Tech was always. Once. Yes, exactly. I remember seeing him on the Van Wilder movie. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is him.
That is him. Yeah.
Oh,
good
man.
Good to see him out.
Man.
Hey, yo, Tyler. See Becky change her background real quick?
Yeah, I understand that and everything, and we were in conversation, so I got distracted.
No, it's okay. We'll pause the podcast and wait for you to change your background, or you could have just put this background on at the beginning when I gave it to you guys. But whatever. Go ahead.
We were talking about double agents, so I wanted to have a double agent background.
No, it's okay. Everybody at home, just give us a second. We're gonna wait for Tyler to change his background from the computers, the blue computer server room, which has nothing to do with the challenge, by the way.
I don't know.
It that looks background, like a hallway.
That's exactly why I downloaded it.
I don't know which cloud you guys have, so hopefully this one's. Oh well, I don't like that.
Oh yeah, no, you got the same one as Becky.
Yeah,
Hold on. Well, I don't like that. Then I'm gonna go here. I want to be different.
Now you got the same one as me.
No, it's different.
It is different.
Oh, okay.
It's reversed. Yeah, it is different. Yeah, he's got a different one.
Yeah, so like Becky, yours is mine just upside down.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I got lazy.
No, mine's way different. This gray right here is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
You see this gray?
Anyways.
That's on my other side.
Yeah, anyway.
Let's go to our victors.
Yes. So Team Silver gets a W. Tech is going to be safe from elimination. And Gisela gets a lifesaver, which I'm pretty sure we will never talk about again, except for later. So the captain is going to have to go in for the losing squad. That's going to be Letarian. Letarian lets everybody knows that he wants Ace. Letarian seems to be a rough, aggressive guy in shape, picks out Ace. But it seems like he picks out Ace for the sole reason that he thinks that Ace is going to be easy to beat. Do you think Letarian's move was smart, or was it scared, or maybe a little bit of both?
Both. It's 100% both. I mean, it's a safe move because, I mean, if he's been keeping up on the challenge, historically, Ace doesn't do well. I mean, his first challenge, he went home first. Second challenge, went home second. Third challenge, went home third.
He doesn't keep up with the challenge because when he saw pole wrestle, he's just like, "What the fuck is a pole wrestle?"
even though the name is literally pole wrestle, just like assume like you're gonna wrestle a pole out of something. But anyways, I think he went for a route that was like, this guy is about 20 to 30 pounds lighter than me. He's about 3 to 4 inches shorter than me, or 2 inches shorter than me. I'm gonna go for it. Like, he's a smaller guy. And I believe that if Tech wouldn't have been safe, Letarian would have called out Tech just because he thought it would have been easier.
Interesting. Becky, what do you make of Letarian's move to call out Ace? Smart, scared, or a little bit of both?
I give it a little bit of both as well. But I think also size-wise, even though Letarian is bigger, I mean, he's not that much bigger in my opinion. Maybe it just, to me, looks on the screen. I'm not an athlete, but
30 pounds is a lot.
Oh, I don't know. So, well.
Somebody made a graphic for it, and I forget who did it. I wish I would have. Oh man.
Nobody cares. But anyway,
Damn.
Somebody put in the hard work.
Sorry, it was right there. I was harsh. But anyway, I think it's a little bit of both. I think that Ace's reputation precedes him in a lot of ways, and I agree with you that I think that him not winning or getting out so early in all of his prior seasons didn't help him. I mean, he got out in one where all he had to do was stick his head in a box with bugs, and he ran off like a girl because
I think that was his first. It was
that one didn't last long.
Yeah,
like literally, he put his head in and then put his head right back out and ran like a bitch. Sorry, whatever. Like a scared little kid covered in like bugs that aren't even gonna hurt you. They're literally just like, they're not gonna put a bug on that's gonna bite you, you dumbass. Sorry.
No, so I'm definitely inclined to agree with you both. It was scared and it was smart. It's really early in the game. I know Letarian is big and he's aggressive, but now is not the time to really rock the boat. Picking him is a safe choice. He doesn't have a whole bunch of friends. He didn't take it on the chin initially, but he started to take it on the chin a little bit later. It was smart for him. He's undersized. He's bigger. It's not going to rock the boat. Picking Ace was a easy choice to make. Who else was going to pick? Alton? Mark? Derek? No, you're gonna pick the easy guy because you don't want to go home in the first week. Before we go ahead and get into the after he makes it clear that he wants Ace, we get the voting process, and I love the voting process. The voting process was classic challenge shit. Pretty much, Letarian already let it known that he wanted Ace, and everybody's inclined to follow suit. And everybody votes him, and Ace calls everybody out. He calls them monsters. He gets really pissy. And I thought it was great because I seen that it was just, Letarian said a name. It's easy for everybody to say that name and jump on it because guess what? As long as that name isn't yours, then you're not going in. And Ace really took that to heart. How did you guys feel about how this whole voting went down?
I think it's just, I think you're right. It's classic challenge. You know, that's how it is. One person says one name, it's a domino effect. So really, it's easier to put a vote on somebody who already has one than to have to, you know, call out somebody else and make yourself look like an asshole.
It's the way of the OG. You just follow suit. You don't make an enemy out of anybody. You just go with the flow. Hey, so I found that graphic while you guys were talking. Laterian is 2 inches taller and 40 pounds heavier, which is a huge difference.
Huge difference. Huge. They won't even let those guys box, but they can go ahead and do pole wrestle.
He's literally a full 8-year-old heavier than Ace, like a whole extra person.
Let's be honest, with the type of people that go on this challenge, there's no way they're going to be able to do a weight class. There's nobody that's going to be the exact same weight as another person.
It kind of depends, but Ace is really hurt by this whole thing. He's really pissy about it, but after a while they throw a absolute fucking rager. The current season of the challenge has the what is it called, the ice block. I know that on Rotten Bananas podcast they call it the Cligloo for the Club Igloo. I forgot what they call it. They call it the Ice Dome. That's what they call it, the Ice Dome. And let me tell you something. The party that they threw in the first night in All-Stars is definitely something the challenge has been missing. That was a absolute fucking rager. It's been a long time since I've seen a party on the challenge. I was like, oh, fuck, I wish I was there. They threw a banger. Even the banger was so good, even Ace was just like, I can't even be pissy through this whole thing. I need to go down there and party. That's how good of a party it was.
Well, but from what I heard, they wouldn't let anybody under a certain age in there.
Under 40, which I believe is 4 cast members. Jemmy, Johnny, and Nehemiah.
Yeah.
And there might be another one. I think that's it though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But absolute rager, but all good things come to an end. They got to go to elimination. Elimination is going to be pole wrestle between Laterian and Ace. And I mean, to be honest, Laterian just wipes the fucking floor with him. Ace did put up a good fight though. He didn't give up. He definitely tried as hard as he possibly could have, but I think there was very little he can do. It got to the point where Ace was trying to just wrap his body around the pole as much as he could, and Laterian just decided to powerbomb him repeatedly until he let it go. And it was fucking brutal. I mean, because if he comes down a little bit too high, it's on the neck. But overall, it didn't look too dangerous, but Ace definitely got his fucking clock cleaned. What did you guys think about the elimination?
Ouch is the only thing I saw the entire time, because it was like, bam, bam, bam. And I was like, oh my God, this is insanity. Like, let go of the pole. Just, it's not worth it. But I mean, it is how it is. That's the brutal way of it. You know, give me my pole. This is my shit. I want to win. And Ace wasn't going to be able to beat him.
I think he broke 2 ribs as well.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I believe that had Ace kept up with the show, and maybe he has and he's just not remembering, but if he would just study pole wrestle, just like literally watch it like one time, I feel like he could have won that matchup, because there was both rounds he had good leverage, but he was pretty much, it was almost like if you were doing an arm bar on somebody, he had his legs wrapped around, they were kind of almost on the Laterian's
absolutely
like, chest.
There was opportunity there.
If he would have just kind of rolled his body and as the Laterian behind him and just pulled straight up, he would have won it. Like, that's exactly how he would have won it. And I think I thought he was going to, because I was like, that's, in my eyes, that's how you win pole wrestle. There's 2 ways. You just try and throw somebody into the ground until they let go and they quit, or you use your legs, which are stronger than your arms, to create a gap and then almost stand up-ish. Take it.
I mean, it is all about leverage and getting the right angle. I mean, if you take like the Anissa Cara pole wrestle, that's how really Cara won, by sheer arm strength and figuring out how to twist it out of her hands.
But if you watch Darrell versus Zach, Darrell got on top where Zach was fighting with only his arms, and Darrell was able to use his knees into the ground to give him momentum and force to rip it up. Like,
well, it was a bad strategy to not use your full body, like, period.
poor
Even
Ace,
though
though.
people are like, "Oh, you're not supposed to use legs." Sorry, you're in it to win it. People are gonna get elbowed, and people are gonna get punched, and people are gonna get kicked. It's just kind of how it works.
Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And unfortunately, in a position that Ace has kind of been used to, he's the first one going home. Poor guy, but not from a lack of effort, not from a lack of heart. He tried. Bless his heart. He tried.
Remember last week when I was talking, I even commented on this because I didn't know we were going to jump into this and everything. I thought I was going to miss it. But like literally production favors and tailors eliminations, I think. Like they didn't have to give pole wrestle first, but not only did Laterian get to go in against who he wanted, but he got an elimination that favored him. Like everything was in his favor. It wasn't like he had a bad matchup, but a good elimination. And when Ace turned and was like, pole wrestle, fuck you guys. Like I died laughing. And in my head, I was like, that's exactly what I would say.
Because he knows that these eliminations they didn't pre-plan it before. They probably have 3 or 4 lined up and they just say, which one is going to give us the best? And if this is what they're thinking, they definitely fucked that up. But they're probably thinking, which one is going to give us the most entertainment, or which one of these are going to favor the guy who we want to last a little bit longer?
Yeah, if I walked out to an elimination arena, I'm trying to think of a person off the top of my head, and it was like, you're going to have to fight this person to stay in, and it's Abram, I'd be like, fuck you guys. You know what you're doing to me. Like, you know exactly. You're setting me up to die. Like that type of thing.
But all things considered, then if they don't give him that, are they tailoring it more towards yours then? So that wouldn't it favor Ace if they went a different direction?
No.
Like there's really no way to make things even.
No, that's not true, because in Gauntlet, I think Gauntlet 2, either Gauntlet 2 or Gauntlet 3, they had 2. They had a thing where you spin, wherever it landed, that's the one you're facing. There's nothing more fair than that.
It was also on 3.
Well, no, okay. I meant just the elimination in itself, like not having pole wrestles at all. Because it favors the bigger person. At the end of the day, you want an underdog story. If Ace had won that would have been amazing and mind-blowing and a great
agree
story piece. And people would be like, look at how he advanced, kind of situation.
Yeah. We're on board with that. I'd like it more if it was, you spin the wheel and it's random and everything like that. I think that would be better and fair, because we don't want the challenge production to try and find fair realistically with an elimination, because then we get stuff where like Paulie gets sent home against Cam because he's got twice the resistance bands and she gets a free elimination win. Like we don't want something like that where like he just can't compete. Like the challenge can't interfere, because they get it wrong in my eyes.
So you want a wheel of destiny.
Because like all challenges that are just like level playing field and then you have to spin a wheel, you don't know what you're getting. Like sure, you might get to call out Ace, but what if you get something that Ace is good in? You don't know. That's the part of it. Like it's the loser shouldn't get everything tailored to them. That's just how I feel. That's just it. I dragged that on. I'm sorry.
No, it's quite all right. I'm inclined to agree with you guys. Let's go ahead and wrap this up with the second episode of the Challenge All-Stars. So episode 2, Terry comes back and he's congratulated by the house, congratulated by Beth. And we get some history about Trishelle and Katie, really good friends, used to be roommates. But good God, something happened between those two. And I'm really interested in like exploring that, because we all know somebody who this happened to. We all knew, 2 people who's really close, but probably became roommates, and then shit just got too real. I want to know what was the thing that caused, one of them to move out or something. Something happened between them. It's obviously not really resolved. And Jesus Christ, Katie feels some kind of way about how shit went down. So we get into that a little bit.
Trishelle did. Katie didn't care. You have this reversed. Trishelle had a hard-on about something going on.
No. Katie has said that she always has to cater to Trishelle's feelings. Said that, I think, and I know Trishelle is a classic reality TV person, but I always feels like just something about her. I've never been a huge fan, and most likely,
Trishelle?
Yeah, and most likely it's something where Katie probably had to deal with a lot of Trishelle shit. Trishelle seems like the kind to help you out and make sure you never forget that she helped you out. Or, you know, she may have done something for you and just always wants some kind of payback and probably expects you to kiss her ass for it. So I don't know. I can't say that. I don't know her personally.
I know why there's a divide and separation and everything. I know exactly why.
Well, tell us.
And if there's any Trishelle fans out there, please I'm just an analyst. That's all I'm doing. But there's this thing in life that most people go through, and it's called growing up. And it seems that Katie has done that, and she's fully done that and moved on to a new life. Like, being real. I mean, I'm trying to tell a joke, but I'm being serious. Like, Katie has grown up, and Trishelle is still living this mentality of being in your early 20s, and like where you have to like rip on people and like break them down and make them feel like shit because you're feeling like shit and everything. And like, and I think it's kind of, and this could be wrong, but I think it's because like she's friends with Jemmy and hangs out with Jemmy, and Jemmy still has that mentality. And so like, it's just like, it's the same way. It's 100%. And I'm not saying like they're not grown women. I'm not saying they're not mature or anything, but their mentality towards others is not that of a grown up in my eyes.
Well, Gisela said something and it really kind of resonated. It's like we came into this house and somehow we reverted back to how we were acting 20 years ago.
No, I definitely feel that because I'm from New York and I still got a whole bunch of friends and family in New York. And the crew I came up with in high school is still in New York. Last time I went out to New York is crazy because once we all get together, we turn into the same people we was back then. We just all revert back. And we do it for a couple of days. After a while, we're like, what the fuck is going on? We're gonna fight the guys down the block. Like, you know, just like we're grown now. We got kids and jobs. So I definitely felt that.
I'm tired. I want breakfast. Like, can we just go to brunch, please? Like,
yo,
I just want a mimosa. But anyway, I mean, Trishelle obviously is a couple bananas short of a full fruit basket. And I think that's kind of the nicest way of saying
I don't think that's the saying. I think it's a couple sandwiches short of a picnic.
Well, I decided that it's a fruit basket now. So,
got you.
And I'm allowed. But, you know, she's always acted this way. I mean, every single season, it just seems that Katie has had to do this in the past at reunions on the shows where she's had to defend Trishelle. And, you know, where she would tell people, don't talk about her. She's not here. She can't defend herself. So I'm sure Katie, throughout their time together, has constantly had to stand up and defend Trishelle and cater to her feelings. Oh, these people are just, you know, they're treating you so badly, and unfortunately Trishelle has a victim complex, I think. So obviously Katie, being her friend, wants to help protect her and be there for her. And, you know, eventually that shit gets old, especially when you have kids and a husband and you just don't like drama anymore. Like Katie of old, when she was trying to fight Veronica when Veronica's topless, you know, that Katie's long gone. You know, she's grown up, as Tyler says. So she's just over the drama. And I love no drama Katie as much as I love drama Katie, because you can see the little tingle in her eye that, you know, the crazy Katie is still there. I'm going to hit you with the plunger Katie.
She's a firework is what she is. She's a firework. And you're like, oh, I lit the fuse. I wonder what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You sit back and you're like, I wonder what's going to boom. And it just explodes. And
the way she screamed at her was like classic.
We're going to get on that. We're not exactly there yet. Let's go ahead and move on to, no, it's quite all right. Let's go ahead and move on to Kendall and her motivations.
To do yoga?
Derek, who is the fucking man, by the way, comes out talking with Kendall, and Kendall's having some problems. I don't know what her motivation. She's like, you know, I wanted to come and, you know, I wanted to show my kids, but she's having some, I don't want to say a crisis, but a deep reflection on her reasons of coming here and her comfortability. The funny thing is, I don't think she's really alone in that. A lot of these people, you know, they have jobs and kids and families, and they probably have to deal with like, you know, what did I really come back for? Of course, the money is great, but, you know, none of these people are homeless or really doing bad. Well, not everybody, but I don't think she's alone with dealing with that. I think a lot of them are dealing with that. So what do you guys think about these older challengers having to deal with the fact that now they're back and they're kind of just thrown into this shit all over again.
I think a lot of them. Sorry, go ahead.
It is something that I feel like a lot of them probably didn't like think about. Like it was like, oh, I can come back on the challenge. Yeah, absolutely. With all people that I used to play with. Yeah, that sounds like good. And then once they accept it, it's like, there's no like, oh, yeah, exactly. Like, why are you doing this? Like if money is your motivation, sure. But I think a lot of people nowadays with like the OGs and everything have some regrets of like going on the challenge. And that's why they don't always do it. I know some people like say they want to go all the time, but like realistically, like you have to leave your family behind for a long time. And it's a hard thing to do. And like, is it worth it? The money and everything, missing memories and days. So I don't know. It's an interesting thought, but I think people just like accept it because it's the challenge and they love the challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Becky?
I think a lot of times they think of it almost like childbirth. After the afters of this beautiful baby, and you had this, you have this amazing thing, you forget about the labor pains. You forget about the contractions and the fact that you just did a crazy thing with your body and the hardship that it caused on you. So they left it and they only have the real positive memories of the challenge and the great things and the fun times. And then they go there and they're like, oh my God, I completely forgot. I have to room with these people. They're not all, maybe they're not all mentally stable. Now I'm stressed out because there's challenges and there might be money involved. And now it's physical and I don't know if I can physically do this. So there's lots of times where you're thinking back like, holy shit, did I know what I was getting myself back into? And did I like make this rainbows and posies in my head and forget about all the bad shit that happened while I was here? I don't know if that made sense.
No, I did. So after that, we get a sit down between Trishelle and Aneesa. And the last time they seen each other, it wasn't really that great. I believe that was Rivals 2?
Yep.
Yes.
Rivals 2. They got into a big argument. Of course, Jemmy's right in the middle of that. Jemmy runs, there's a big argument. Jemmy runs right over to Aneesa and she goes, are you half black and Jewish? Trishelle is over there talking some shit. And they get into a big thing, got a little bit physical. And Trishelle just, really apologizes. I've grown so much now. I was completely in the wrong. And Aneesa, one of the reasons why I do like Aneesa will forgive you. Aneesa will try to put it in the back, but also shows why Aneesa stays on these shows. Aneesa always finds herself in this kind of shit all the time. So I really respected the fact that Aneesa was willing to hear her out and willing to be, willing to forgive her and willing to listen and understand and kind of got it put to bed. Why don't you guys talk to me about how this moment made you guys feel or any thoughts on this moment overall?
Well, it is a moment of growth and understanding. I think especially going on right now, it's a lot more prominent. There's a lot more accountability out there. And I think Trishelle wanted to clear her name a little bit. I mean, obviously, when that situation happened, she was being drunk, she was being belligerent and ignorant. And I don't think she wants to be remembered that way. And I think a lot of people think of her like that. Whether or not she means it or whether or not she really truly educated herself, I guess that's kind of dependent on how she continues to act afterwards. What do they say? Actions speak louder than words. So I want to see a little bit more from her before I truly trust that she's actually grown from the experience, but it's a good step.
And Tyler?
Couple of things to note. What's really interesting is this memory just brought back that this is not the first time this happened. And Robin almost had the exact same incident with Aneesa as well, which is very interesting to me. Just something to note.
She's culturally ambiguous. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but I'm pretty sure Aneesa got a lot of questions like, what are you exactly? Some of those microaggressions.
I don't even know if it's like, people probably don't even go out and ask because like they are curious and they want to know, but I think it's because like, if you watch old challenges of Aneesa, she has a lot of, ethnic background and her culture and everything. And she presents it and she presents everything. And some people don't understand that. And they think, You're supposed to be just one thing or two things, so it's confusing. But that's not the point I'm trying to make here and everything. It was a really nice moment for Trishelle. I saw some like little clarity here, and I was like, oh man, you're growing up. But then again, I remember like social media is big, and like public shame will make anybody a saint. Like it's simple as that. Like, oh no, I'm good. I'm a good person. Like, no, I'm not, that'll happen. Like if somebody shames you on social media and you're a big person on social media, like you're going to tuck your tail because you don't want that perception out there. And so I'm not saying that's what it was, but I mean,
it's easy to see how that can be the case.
Yeah, it was a nice moment though. And I was happy to see it because I was like, that's kind of the point of the show to me. Like, how did you last leave? And was it good or bad? And how can you fix that here? Like, this is like a clarity point. This is a relationship that ended terribly. And you're just trying to become friends again. And that's how it is. That's how I look at this show.
I'll be honest, during the previews, and we saw Trishelle arguing with Katie, now that we know now that that's who the argument originally was. I actually thought that the argument was with Anissa, and that they were, duking it out over that thing because she's like, it was 16 years ago. I was like, okay, like maybe this has something to do with that. Yeah. But I found out I was wrong. I was like, oh, okay, growth. We're always up for growth, and hopefully it stays. And, it's not a big fat lie. Like Tyler said, to avoid the social media backlash and the social media dragging and canceling that happens when you make a very public, ignorant comment.
Let's go ahead and move on to the daily. Today's daily is a fan favorite.
Trivia.
It is going to be trivia.
It's early for trivia, don't you think? Don't they usually wait a little bit later on?
It is a lot earlier than what it usually is, but I'm definitely for it. This trivia session was one of the funniest, especially TJ's reactions and the way some of these challengers fell. It was pretty awesome. I definitely have a couple of gripes with it. One, they definitely should have showed us some of the questions they were asking, because anybody who's a true challenge fan, a true challenge head, we were surprised that some people was getting it wrong. Some of the shit was like, you were there for that. How did you get it wrong? Like, we saw it on TV, you were actually there. Like, so that was really cool. Big thing to point out, and TJ hams up this whole session, and it was really cool to see. What did you guys think about something that comes up a lot later on? Kendu doesn't fall when she gets her number called. Now, I know she's light, and she kind of just hops onto the third thing and then jumps off, and then has to sit down Indian style next to TJ. How did that whole Kendu thing in the moment make you guys feel?
The point of the challenge wasn't to fall into the water. That's not the point of the challenge. The point of the challenge is to not get 3 questions wrong. That was the point. And theoretically speaking, or whatever theoretically, if you walk far enough, you're going to fall, because when you get 3 answers wrong, it's barely got any padding there. She didn't. Sorry, MTV. You staged this wrong where somebody could not fall. Who cares?
I mean, there are a lot of really light girls. I mean, Arissa looks like she weighs 5 pounds. So, and Kendall and all of them, that they just weren't heavy enough to break the board. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think she should have had to do big hop. And the way she explained it made sense, because she's like, I don't want to hop wrong and then end up like hurting myself.
Like Katie.
Well, yeah, Katie. I mean, Katie falls and busts her whole shit open. Blood's coming down her face. Again.
I busted my fucking face again.
Yes, exactly. Got her whole shit busted open. Looked pretty fucking brutal. But
I mean,
if you didn't know Katie was a badass, you know now.
All right. I mean,
to be fair, Katie. I'm not saying Katie deserved to get hurt, but like the universe was like, that was a really dumb answer. Of like, how many people went into elimination on the island? 1. What? Come on. Who'd they go against? Like, you could have said any other number, and I'd have been like, yeah.
And it would have been closer.
You could have said,
she
15,
wasn't thinking eliminations. I think she was thinking of dailies, because technically they weren't any. Because she's like, there wasn't even any dailies on there.
Still, so one was a bad answer.
It was a stupid answer either way.
She pretty much said Dutch in my head. That's what she said.
Katie's fall was pretty bad. Big Easy's fall was bad. Cyrus, I mean, when some of these big guys fall, I mean, the compilation of these people falling.
Mark falling was hilarious.
It was so great. It was so great. Nehemiah gets the win for the guys. Anissa gets the win for the girls.
This was Nehemiah's first time ever doing a trivia challenge.
Really?
Fun fact, I watched the after show, not on purpose. It just came on next. And I was like, I just said I'm going to watch it.
As much of a challenge junkie as I am, I never watch an after show, even though I do a whole fucking podcast, which is like an after show.
Devin Simone is one of the best hosts out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She's on the Wendy Williams show. And even though I cannot stand Wendy Williams, I mean, come on, her influence is undeniable.
Viacom is really sleeping on her as a reunion, host.
There's a petition out there. There's a petition out there, but
it should be done. It's not even that hard of a.
Back to your point earlier, Malik. I wish they would have shown all the questions because I said this in my hit list thing today when I gave Anissa a nod. She was in my top 3, but I think Anissa might have broke a record for most correct answers in a trivia. Just from what we saw, I believe she got like
her and Ruthie was going back and forth for a while.
Yeah.
That's at least 5 or 6.
Look bored. But DJ's like, could one of you fall?
But Ruthie got like 2 questions wrong. Like even though they were going back and forth, like Ruthie got multiple wrong. Anissa got. I don't even think Anissa got 1 wrong. She was still on the first step.
I think she got 1 wrong.
But she still got like 8 or 9 right. And I don't know this. I wish I knew it because I'm supposed to know all challenge records and stats. But she might have just set a record for most correct answers in a trivia challenge.
I wouldn't be surprised. But honestly, how many seasons has she been on?
40.
So,
I think she is 40.
Yeah, exactly. But, but I think that's it's a testament. She's got a good memory. I mean, she's always been kind of good at those. So.
She did a little dance after she won too.
I'm not surprised. Like at the end of the day, Anissa, it wasn't a shocker that Anissa won. It was a bit of a shocker that Nehemiah won because he hasn't been on any of the newer seasons. Yeah, I don't know how much he watches because they were talking about newer seasons as well.
He studies. I guarantee he was like, Wes, what should I do to get back in this game? Wes, like, you need to watch everything.
I think he was ready. I think Nehemiah is super ready for this. But
I think Nehemiah's been asking to come back, but just hasn't.
So on the after show, Darrell was a little upset and salty. He still gave him props that Nehemiah won, but 2 of Nehemiah's questions, one we kind of got a peek, but one of the answers to one of Nehemiah's questions was Wes, one of his good friends. And another question that Nehemiah got was to spell the challenge backwards, which if you didn't know was pasted 100 times on that daily. So yeah. It was just hilarious how like Darrell was really salty. He's like, I didn't get spelling challenge backwards. I got harder things than that. And there was some controversy out there. I think somebody said an answer that could have been right, but they counted it wrong. So interesting stuff.
So moving on, back at the house after the daily, Trishelle was the first one to fall for the ladies. And because it's a girls' day, Trishelle is going in. She gets a little crew together to decide exactly how she's going to play this. She grabs Katie, Mark, Anissa, and Kellyanne and Nehemiah to figure out who she wants. She floats Beth's name, which really...
Shocker.
Yeah, that was like, really Beth, that's who you want? Beth will, even at 52, Beth will fuck your world up.
Yeah.
She's got size on her.
Anissa out of nowhere is just like, well, what about Kendall? And that really kind of shocked me because I know Kendall Shepard is a little undersized, but she does yoga all the time. She is fit and she is feisty, always has been.
That's why, though.
That's why what?
That's why she's getting targeted.
She doesn't want to see her in a final.
This is how, and
Trishelle's not taking out Kendall in anything except for brunch.
So either.
I hate what I'm about to say and everything. God, I always get myself in these situations, but the women on the show historically play a very scared game where they want to get out the best challengers from the first elimination, and they don't care if it puts a target on their back. Just get them out. Like put 2 big people in against each other, and hopefully one goes home. Like they've always historically done this. There's not a season where they're like, yeah, put in the 2 weakest people. Who cares? They never do that.
But I'm confused. And even Trishelle said something like, Kendall, what's this perception of her being a weaker player? Why would anybody think that she wouldn't fuck shit up? Trishelle, if anything, is a weaker player. She's quit multiple times, doesn't have a great elimination record. Why put up against Kendall? You think somebody like Orisa would be, or even a Ruthie? No, not Ruthie. Even though she's smaller too, but it just seemed like the wrong choice.
It's a lot of these players. Anissa's very guilty of this, but Anissa doesn't make moves to get to the final. Anissa makes moves so you don't get to the final. So like if you're a threat to her in the final, then you're at the top of her list to get rid of right away. Which is not a bad strategy, but I'm just saying it's just the way
short-sighted.
Game. Yeah,
Anissa plays very emotionally, which makes me wonder if there's something else going on. Because even during the last elimination, when they were doing the pole wrestle, she said, Kendall looked at her and said, is it always this vicious? She's like, this is what I'm going to do to you. Like, whoa. What did Kendall do to you? That
I don't know.
In such a
probably something on Twitter.
She's too happy.
How dare you have joy in your life?
Nobody's this happy and interacts with the community in the positive way all the time. Like
she hates Ruthie too, apparently. Well, doesn't hate Ruthie.
She doesn't hate Ruthie. She's scared of Ruthie.
Ruthie's
she panics every season. I was like, okay, pot, meet kettle.
If Anissa perceives you as paranoid, she doesn't like you. That's why her and Laurel don't get along. It's her and Cara at times don't get along. It's exactly. That's what you just said was right. Like pot calling the kettle pot. It's the exact.
Okay. Whatever you say, boss.
I see what you're trying to do there.
I don't.
He's scared now.
I feel like
all those other times you said.
I feel like black ass kettle.
I'll never forget like the fear I had in my body when we were talking about the Manscaped thing, and I was talking about nicking, and I was like, oh my God.
I seen a comedian, he was doing some comedy about races and stuff. His last name was Nickerson. He said there's never been a more solid K in the world. He said you gotta nail that
K.
You gotta nail that shit every time. Let's go ahead and move on. Before we do, Trishelle definitely notes that Katie wasn't very vocal in this session, and she seemed kind of stuck. And she really got offended by that, but I really think it's just Katie being in this environment all over again. I think it could have been a lot, dealing with Trishelle again, dealing with the challenge overall, and the stress that comes with it. But let's go ahead and move on.
Katie doesn't have the best history with the challenge.
No, actually, this leads right into Trishelle and Katie's big blow up. They blow up. I loved how Trishelle tried to throw Jemmye into it. Like, yeah, ask Jemmye. And Jemmy's like, huh? Like, caught it totally off guard. And we kind of already discussed it. There's some deep trauma between them, but it does lead to a big blowout. And Katie even just says like, yo, I hope they pick me to go against you. So I do think they love each other, but I do think there's some serious, deep, fucked up shit between these two ladies that they need to get figured out. Probably off camera would be best.
I was literally having Cara and Laurel flashbacks. You're my best friend. You're supposed to be da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh my God. We have people who are in their 30s and 40s possibly arguing about, you're my best friend and you should have run upstairs and not got food and told me immediately what was going on. It was literally the most petty fight in the world. And I think, honestly, it was just Trishelle's paranoia kicking in, as per her usual,
But even in that exchange, I don't feel like she treated Katie very well in that exchange. We're going to get back to Katie and Trishelle in a minute. Let's go ahead and get to the deliberation. We get down to the deliberations. We all know Trishelle is going in. She's the first one that falls. Gisela instantly votes. She instantly throws in Kendall's name. And she was just like, Kendall, you didn't fall through. Everybody else had to fall through. Explain yourself. Now, I know Trishelle is kind of a fan favorite right now, but I think the whole let's go against Kendall because she didn't fall through like everybody else is total bullshit. Kendall found a way to stay dry, and we stand a dry queen. So, but it was such a bad reason. It was such a bullshit reason. But then I started thinking, same thing with Ace. You don't need a good reason. Any reason would do that keeps you from having to go in. Voting Kendall in for the bullshit of you didn't go in, you didn't get wet like everybody else is totally dumb, and it's total bullshit. There's plenty of people who performed worse than she did. There's plenty of people who's going to be an easier vote than she does. The only reason why her name was brought up is because it was an easy name to board up, and everybody else is going to bandwagon to get her off. It wasn't the brave thing to do, to call her out. That wasn't the move. But everybody jumped on it. But
it didn't help though that Kendall,
she didn't explain herself very well.
I don't think she understood the question. And she literally, I was like, Kendall, what are you answering? Like,
listen,
you're not answering the right question.
I understand Kendall can be kind of quirky. No one told you to let every single one of those quirks come out at the same exact time. But also, it's been, 15, 16 years since she's been on one of these things. And God knows the cameras is on you. It seems like the whole house is against you. It is probably a super highly stressful situation.
Can I ask a question? Did Nehemiah or Anissa go into the water?
Nope.
Yeah. No.
But they won.
No, but hang on. So they didn't complete the challenge then. Because that's the challenge. That's what Mark Long said. Like, you didn't actually finish the challenge because you didn't, and then text like, I would have jumped off the edge. Well, Anissa and Nehemiah didn't get wet. Are you going to vote them in next round because they didn't complete a challenge? Like, I think it's bullshit. I think you're just using the littlest excuse to latch onto somebody. I actually thought Kendall's proposal was brilliant. They're like, who would you vote for? And she goes, I would just go for whoever got second to last place because then you're just doing it fair. Realistically, the way the OGs play the game of like, keep my hands down. I don't want to get dirty. You just vote. Oh, sorry, man. You got second to last place, so I have to vote you in.
And who is in second to last place person?
Yesella.
Mm-hmm.
If it would have been like John A, she might have been able to turn, but Yesella is so vocal. I was like, nope.
Well,
exactly.
Yesella just literally, probably almost single-handedly got her team through the first daily.
Yes, and that does count. But if you want to break it down to logic, and Kendall just, who would you vote in? Who is the next person to fall? Who is the second worst person? Oh, that was you.
Well, she didn't even say Yesella. Yesella said, well, that'd be me then. And she goes, well, okay, that's who I'd vote in. Like, it wasn't like Kendall was like, well,
no, of course not. She's way less vicious than like, say, I would be, or pretty much almost anybody else. But her getting voted in the fashion that she did, I didn't like it. I thought it was bullshit. We don't need a good reason. We'll just take any reason to go ahead and get you voted in.
So let's move on then. She gets voted in.
She gets voted in.
On a bogus ass vote.
We might as well go ahead and jump into the elimination. It's going to be
do it.
Kendall versus Shepard. Who had the lifesaver?
Kendall versus Shepard?
Nehemiah did.
Sorry, Nehemiah had the lifesaver. So it'll be Kendall versus Trishelle.
I have details on that. Kendall
hit us.
Kendall asked Nehemiah to not use the lifesaver on her.
I can see you doing that.
She wanted to go in.
I can see that. Why would she not be confident?
That's what she's there for. She's there to prove that she can compete and everything.
And she's there to kick ass. The game is going to be not so fast. And it's funny, we've seen this game because a certain podcast host said that a certain challenger who they may also consider the GOAT broke this game. Obviously, he didn't.
No. He did break the game. You know why? Because the guy that he destroyed, smashed, completely destroyed the way he plays the game going forward and made him just the guy that he is today, and he's no longer the beast. He forced Darrell almost into retirement. And Darrell coached Kendall the exact same way that he lost that match. You know why? Because it's broken.
Let me tell you something. I don't understand why Trishelle or Kendu didn't weigh into the strategy more. We all seen how to win this game. You don't need to go and weave through everything else. You make the tightest knots known to man. And I thought that that's exactly what the game was going to be. Nope. Everybody else still want to weave it through.
I'm not going to lie. When I first saw it too, my dumbass, who has praised that elimination so much, was like, man, I would just zigzag so quick and go through there and everything. I was like, that's what I would do. And then she started doing the knot, and I was like, oh yeah, what? I'm so dumb. That's exactly what you do. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Look
so
at
the
what
game
happened with a similar situation with Jay and CT. CT could not get that last little chain.
Yeah.
Because of how it was zigzagged and knotted. He couldn't get through. By Jay won.
Such a great shot when CT with the rope. You know, he had the rope and it was raining. He looked like a fucking transformer and Beastly. But one hell of an elimination. Kendall came out there. Kendall came out to that elimination and she let everybody know she did not come here to fuck around. She did not come here to play. I think the editing made it look a lot closer than what it was, but Kendall went out there and smacked shit around. No matter how you edit it, you can't show when she was done how far ahead she was. She came in there with a lot of integrity. She came there to kick ass. She plays the game the way this is supposed to be played. I'm actually a little bit worried about her because I think her dominating so much really put a target on her back. I think every girl in the house knows you better get her out because if she makes the final, you're not going to win it.
I think she's going to play a more political. I think she's going to play a more political game now.
As she should.
I really do.
She has a little bit of power. Don't you want me on your team? Don't you want me on your side? Hell yeah, look how you kicked ass.
Yeah. And Derek said it, now you literally shut everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
After not only that, talking shit.
Not only that, but like Malik, you know this and everything just from like sports because we've talked about this, but like the pregame is like actually really anxious and like kind of nerve-wracking. But as soon as you go out there and like you make your first hit or like anything or the first whistle blows, like your mind just like escapes and you're free. And
you practice this. You know what you're doing. You practice for this.
Kendall officially is in the game. Everybody else is kind of watching the game. She's in the game now. Mm-hmm. She's free. She's relaxed. She knows what it is. She has no nerves anymore. She's ready to go.
I love seeing her coming out just dirt and just looking like she just won a war. Like I was like, yes, Kendall.
I like to call it that's called effort. I don't call it dirt.
Maximum effort.
She's got effort all over her. That's what she's got.
And that is just so great to see. And really, even though she may be in a funny headspace or whatever, she's come to play the game. Kendall has come to play this game in its most purest form. She came out there to compete, to kick some ass, and just do a good job and prove to the people at home that, she still has what it takes. And this elimination was an easy indication to show she still has it. She may have been the thing that the challenge had been missing all of these years.
She was in the zone. Like
Loved it. So great to see. So great to watch. So great to watch.
Fans have been trying to petition to get her back for like the past 5 years. Like,
well, I think that was more on her not wanting to do it than anything else.
Right. Well, we just passed the 2-hour mark. One hell of a banger. We're not going to keep you guys too much longer. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for listening to us. We appreciate it. We are going to be back. I can't give you an exact date, but we're going to be back with episode 3 of the Challenge All-Stars. We're also going to be back for the second part of the final for the Challenge 36 Double Agents. I almost said Total Madness, but I didn't.
I did almost say that earlier.
With that said, we're not going to hold you. We're going to go ahead and get the fuck out of here. It's getting kind of late. Big shout out to the Challenge Unbothered. Make sure you visit shopthechallenge.com for all of your custom challenge gear. Make sure you visit shop.lwcpodcast.com. Pick up all of your favorite LWC gear. Who wants to close us out today?
Tyler.
Another great episode, Podstars. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to check us out wherever you guys get podcasts. If there's a place that gives you guys audio news, it's where we're at. We're everywhere. Check us out on YouTube for this video clip. You're actually watching us right now.
YouTube.lwcpodcast.com.
Exactly. And you check out there. We just dropped the top 10 a little bit ago, which is on TikTok now. And we got a new top 10 coming out here.
TikTok/Love War Challenges.
And it's just, you can see we're everywhere. So if you want a full experience of what a podcast is,
Facebook.com/
there it is.
Love War Challenges.
we're not just going to drop you guys like one podcast and then be done. No, we're going to give you content throughout the week on all platforms. So if you need us somewhere, we're ready for you.
Tyler is ready for you.
I'm not going in. I'm not like running for.
Dirty.
I'm not running for office or anything. Like,
yes. All right.
Oh,
Facebook.com/Love War Challenges. We're on Twitter at LWCpodcast.com, Instagram, LWCpodcast.com, TikTok at Love War Challenges, YouTube.LWCpodcast.com. We really got to get that shit straight now. Half of it is Love War Challenges. The other half is LWCpodcast.com. We're gonna have to shore this shit up soon. With that said, thank you guys so much for joining us. We are the fuck up out of here. Good night.